Okay, let's.
Here, this thing's white.
It's a 6 plus.
Let's get. This is largest countries by population. Okay. This. The first one should be fairly easy, right?
India, right? Is it India? China.
China.
What?
China.
We did this yesterday. It was China, right? Okay. If you look at the populations there, which I put on.
Million. Is that what that's like?
Yeah, the B's are for billion, so there's 2 countries with billion, right? The red, and then it makes a big drop off. It goes from 1.2 billion to 318 million. To give you guys perspective, first off, how many people are on Earth?
A lot.
7 billion.
Good. Did you guys look at sign or did you just learn that?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, good. As of 2011, as of 2011, the world passed 7 billion. Do you know how long it took to go from 6 billion to 7 billion people?
20 years.
11 years.
That's not even long though. Like,
I know. So in your lifetime, guys, the world population has gone up 1 billion people. That seems unbelievable, doesn't it?
I'm actually 15, so.
Okay.
I'm actually not.
What? We don't know what the carrying capacity is. Yes. Excellent. You actually beat me to the thing. China, and you guys probably, well, you don't remember it because you weren't alive, but 30, 40 years ago, China was an extremely poor country that had major issues with overpopulation. In the 1950s into about 1962, there was a famines, 2 or 3 famines that went through China, and approximately 27 million people died of starvation in the 50s in China. The government had a hard time feeding everyone. So, starting in the late 1970s, I believe 76, 77-ish, they instituted the one-child policy. And it's not, we as our culture, we can't visualize this way, but it's a strict policy and people follow it. You just don't find people with multiple kids, because if you have 1 kid, you make yourself not able to have more kids. It's just the way it is. If you're a family and you have one child, you are not having another child. If you have twins, that's completely different. I get that. They're not going to be like the first kid comes in, the second one they just like stab in the head or something. But there is no issue with it. It's just because China's not a democratic government. Many people in China are afraid of the government. So you're told that you can only have 1 child. You don't want to take a chance to have another one. It's just the way it is. Secondly, while a lot of people are not afraid of the government, others have a huge support, and it's patriotic in a lot of people's minds to follow that rule. Yes?
In general, if you did have more than 1 kid and the government found out, what would they do?
It's so hard for us as our culture to grasp. It just doesn't happen. I mean, it's very rare. Yes?
So like, they're still doing that today?
Yeah, it's been going on since the late 70s. There's been talk, and there's articles by journalists probably every 5 or 10 years about, are they going to get rid of that? There's some very wealthy people in China that bribe officials to have more kids, but they typically are like billionaires that don't really live in China very often. Like they have homes in like the United States or whatever. But we can't picture it because our culture wouldn't allow that. Would we allow our government to make us only have 1 kid? No. But in their country, it's completely acceptable. Okay.
they start shooting guns. It's like,
I'm just playing. I'm just
it's
playing.
like,
Number 2. This country. Second. This country, if in 1948, it was the biggest country in the world by population, and then 2 countries broke off from it. And now it's just second with 1 billion people. In the next 100 years, it probably will pass China. Yes.
India.
India is correct. Nicely done.
Good job, Christian.
I have to weed.
Yes.
They had like break up the Ottoman Empire. Right?
No.
Oh my God,
They-
I'm right, Christian.
And we're going to learn about this in probably October, November. India was part of the English Empire, kind of like America was. And the British in 1948 gave India its independence. There were 2 parts of India that had a large Muslim population, and those 2 areas decided to become their own countries. Okay,
How do I keep track of how many people are?
number 3. This country is.
I know.
Just a second. I'll help you so you don't have to say stuff. Yes. You checking out.
What's the baby? Just be like, oh,
Okay.
no. We got one more kid. And then
We
they
got
said the
one more
world,
kid.
the little world union thing. You're like, okay, well, we got that.
So that-
obviously.
so that's
every
right.
more than something in
Like,
the United States, so
No, I mean, why don't you just like?
That's what happened. You're not a doctor's working with the government.
Why you
You're probably
flinching?
not.
I mean,
You saying, right? Did they have population control?
Okay, this country, before you guess, I'll give you the script. This country has a large military. It
United
typically has a very well-known democracy.
United States.
The United States is correct. Good. It just seems odd to me the United States is the 3rd largest country. I wouldn't think we were that big. Yes.
how do they like keep track of how many people?
What? Well, every country does census, and also there are statisticians. Their whole job is to use computer models to estimate things. Now, yeah, if you said there's no exact number to a population as big as any country, right? Because there are people dying and being born every second of the day, right?
Yeah.
Right
So-
now, somebody's being born.
Yes.
Why not say it's not?
I'm just-
Probably some
Right
other-
now, you gotta look into.
What's that?
Right now, somebody's being
But now
born.
someone's
Can I answer this?
Most likely.
Oh, number 4. Yes. Okay, don't guess. I'm gonna give you guys hits.
Is it
Number 4 is one that is surprising to the vast majority of Americans. This country, just a second. Let me give you guys just a second. This country is the largest Muslim country in the world. It is a country that is borders the Pacific Ocean. It's north of Australia. It's made up of about 1,000 islands. Yes.
Philippines.
No. Indonesia.
What? I thought
Okay.
Russia would be like.
Who can? I'm going to go back to the map here. Who can circle
That's a cool name.
Indonesia on the map? Someone just run up there.
Right there.
Go, if you go for it.
Oh no.
Just go try. You get to use one of those cool pins.
Yes, you're correct.
My baby.
That's
Yeah.
it though.
It's he wasn't exactly sure. I get it.
There's still a blue
Specifically,
spot.
it's right here.
Yeah. I saw
There's still a
Um,
blue spot up there.
But did you guys realize that Indonesia, 1, is the 4th largest country in the world, and 2, it's the largest Muslim country? We in America think everyone that's Muslim lives in the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
The biggest country in the world isn't a Muslim country in the world isn't even in the Middle East. We need to expand what we understand. We don't want to be ignorant, right?
Stereotype.
Yes.
There's like also like a large like Muslim community in the United Kingdom now.
Yes, there is large Muslim communities in most major countries. Just a second. Does anyone know where our biggest Muslim community, what major city has the largest? Group of Muslims, yes.
Is it Chicago or Brooklyn? I don't know.
No.
Oh, in the U.S.
Yeah, in the United States. What city in the United States has the biggest Muslim community? Yes.
Kansas.
No.
What'd you say?
Kansas.
Yes. It's,
I was gonna say Washington.
yes, it's actually
Kansas?
no. It's
Kansas isn't a city. Detroit.
it's Detroit. For whatever reason, Detroit has developed a large Muslim population, and people that immigrate, Muslims that immigrate to the United States, now make an effort to live in Detroit because there are small cities within Detroit that are almost entirely Muslim, so you feel much more used to your culture, right? Okay, the bell's about to ring, so we'll finish this after lunch.
I was gonna say Seattle.